God has never transformed their heart to begin with.
So what if someone never had the opportunity to have a life that was sinless, or what?
What do you, so you believe you're saying that what if someone never had the opportunity, someone never heard the gospel?
So what
And
if some guy, like this is kind of a obviously like abstract example, and it's kind of a
Okay.
cheesy play on my part. But what if some kid came in his life, his dad's an alcoholic, he smokes all the time, he hates his life, he beats the kid grows up, the kid's awful, right? Because that's all he knows. He's been treated like garbage his entire life. He grows up and does the same thing. He becomes his dad. He does that to his kid. Is he an evil kid? Is he an evil person? He's only been shown bitter.
So the Bible does say all have fallen short of the
So
glory of God, and no one is
there's no valuable in you're saying there's no value in being good. Because we're all
thing
evil,
is-
so you might as well just
you
be
have
evil.
to understand that God doesn't have to save anyone.
So
So-
if we're at His mercy, so why even try?
It's not a matter of trying.
Okay.
Connecting works to salvation, that's not
Then what is the point of life if you're to be saved by grace? Why are you human? Yeah.
to glorify God.
So our point is to worship God. Gotta do our best. But it doesn't matter what we do because we're gonna be saved by God.
Right,
So what's
it's
so?
true that we're supposed to worship God and we're supposed to glorify God, and we can't glorify God unless we've been saved, unless the Holy Spirit transforms our hearts and gives us a heart of stone and takes away our heart of gives us a heart of flesh and takes away our heart of stone. That's what I'm gonna say.
So is
Yeah.
it? What is to worship God?
To worship God means that through our not only our words of praise, but also in our actions. That through our actions, whenever we, in a sense, declare that God is more satisfying than anything that we have. So let's say if you're working to the glory of God and not your own glory. You're working because you're satisfied in God. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I think I understand what you mean. But
I can give you an analogy that will explain it the way that we see it, okay? So I married my husband, okay? After I married my husband, I started cleaning his underwear and doing the dishes and, making him food and doing all these things, right? I did that after I was in a relationship with him, after I had a covenant with him, right? I did all those things because I love him. If I went up to some guy and I said, hey, you're pretty cute, let me go and cook for you and clean your clothes
is
and
he
do
not
all
a
these
creation
things.
of God?
Well, you're missing.
She's making an analogy.
Yeah.
So if I did all those things, that doesn't mean that I'm in a
Something you said
relationship
was like
with him.
very
It doesn't mean I'm married or whatever.
Yeah,
I do it,
right.
I'm not
You're
married
like,
until I make that commitment. And then because of that commitment,
So is the
I do all
power?
these things for my husband.
So is it? Yeah. So you're talking about your motivation for doing something and why it's important. But is it the power? When is that marriage sealed? Is it the power of the priest that's given through God to seal that marriage, or is it when you decide
We don't believe in
that
sealing
he's?
the marriage. We don't believe in sealing the marriage.
But you believe in the idea or the concept of a priest saying you guys are man and wife, right?
Well, there is usually somebody who marries, and so it becomes legal.
So when does that happen? Is it the decision when you decide that you love that person so much you're willing to do those things you talked about for that person? Because I mean, you said it wasn't,
when we
obviously.
make that commitment to each other, when I make the
But when was the
commitment,
commitment start? When the priest tells you to?
Marriage is basically a covenant. It's an
Yeah,
agreement between two parties,
I
basically
understand.
saying, I will love you,
But when does
and
the covenant start?
whenever you say I do.
So the priest has to, right? Because the intention was there already, right? You always had it. There was some point in time, right? You meet the guy, you think he's cute, right? You go to the dance or whatever, and you're like, and then you do the things, right? And you get to a point when you are like, this person, I can't live my life without this person, right?
Do things,
Your life would be.
cunningless, fellatio, vaginal intercourse, just to let you know.
It's very wise input. But you get to the point where you're like your life, you would feel like your life was incomplete without him, right? So you don't feel like you have a duty, but you want to not serve, but like you want to be part of this person's life. So when are you in a covenant with that person? When the priest allows you?
no, it doesn't work that way.
But you have to ask him to do it,
We don't.
right? Because you need him there to say I do to make the covenant.
Ask my husband or I have to ask
The priest.
No, it doesn't work that way.
But when does the covenant start?
When you say I do, and you agree.
Yeah, but what if you say I do? You don't have to have a priest. So whenever you go, so when you ask you to marry you is what you're saying.
Oh, I can go online right now and I can get certified to
Yeah.
marry people.
Okay, so the government's
and
God.
It would be so that's what
So
it is.
so who's the covenant to?
My husband
Okay.
before God.
So you're making the covenant him. When does the covenant start?
When we both agree to the covenant before God in the marriage ceremony.
I think maybe you're
In a
kind of-
marriage ceremony,
maybe
that's
you see
what's the
some-
importance of marriage is what I'm asking. Is why does the covenant
Legal
start?
discount
Not
from the
start.
government.
Why does it not start when you're like, when you both agree? There's a mutual agreement when you both are like, life would be worse without you, right?
Life would be worse without chocolate chip ice cream.
I think you could do without chocolate chip ice cream. Like if you lived right now, right? If you lived a life without someone that you truly loved for the rest of your life and not have chocolate chip ice cream for the rest of your life, I think you would probably be more sane without chocolate chip ice cream, right?
What about death?
I mean that's just it, right? No one knows.
I love it.
How many people have come back to life and like? I guess a lot of people always make up stories, but like you can't ask someone about death. No. I'm atheist.
Do you think that atheism is reasonable?
I think that nothing is reasonable.
So
Right
all
now,
three of you are
there
correct?
is dinosaur,
Gotcha.
right?
So
There's
you don't believe
octane,
in these.
which is a carbon chain. And when those bonds break, it releases energy. And when it releases energy, it pushes a piston in that truck, and that truck just drives by,
It's
right?
interesting.
That's not reasonable. That's crazy. But it happens all the time, so it's all right.
We both
Our entire
Yeah.
our entire world is crazy. It doesn't need to be rational. No one owes you rational, right?
Yeah.
It is
And
chaos.
the interesting thing
Do you
is,
think the world is chaotic?
Yeah,
this is always
but
just a
it's
big
not
miscommunication
chaotically
when people have
evil.
these conversations.
And
most of the time,
chaos
I
can
believe-
be like beautiful, right?
Most of the time,
That's like
with a lot
Van
of
Gogh,
people,
right?
Like,
That's the whole
I don't know,
like
because it kind
I
of
don't
goes
know.
against like the fine-tuning argument.
The fine tune. I don't know that.
That means that the universe is, our planet is sitting in just the right spot.
Oh, it's just
That is-
chaos.
that we have
Well,
just the
that's the
right amount of
infinite
water.
probability, right?
What's that?
It's infinite probability. Is that it happens enough time it will work out.
Probable, reasonable.
Like no matter how bad I am at basketball, if I just sit there and shoot, I'll hit eventually. I might not have enough time because I'm human and I'm, you know.
Right. But the difference is that because
Yeah,
something's
we-
probable
yeah,
doesn't mean it's
I can see that.
reasonable. So if
Why
you
does it need to
say-
be reasonable? Why does it need to make sense to you? Does it owe you something?
I
Shows me
wasn't
something
saying
like that,
that. I
otherwise
was
you can't
saying if you're going to base
fuss
your
and
ideas,
fuss.
I think that you want to base them on something that was like reasonable and rational, not just probable. Because anything's probable. Because you haven't had time.
I could see why.
Not only
I would say
probable,
that
it's highly probable. It probably happened. There's probably a planet exactly like ours, and it led up to this point, except the one difference is it's fashionable to wear clown noses. And so we're all having this conversation. People, not us.
You watch too much Rick and Morty.
No, I like Rick and Morty, but it's the multiverse. I like
Jesus Christ was the Holy Ghost.
I'm terrible with
How
names,
this
but
response is there, how do you know?
I don't know.
And not
It's
one.
likely though, right?
However, they do have one
I don't know.
person.
In,
But it's just interesting
Faith
how
in
many
what?
times in the Bible itself that it says that. Like that's not.
I had
actually
faith
a
for a long
doctrine.
time.
But
But
the truth
well,
is,
you gotta
I believe,
define.
like,
This is
it says it so
I have
many
this conversation with my uncle a
Like,
lot.
it says
What
they
is your
are one,
definition of faith?
But it also,
Well,
this is why it's so hard.
I would say biblical faith
but it also
is
says
the belief that
well,
something
for
is
hard
the
for
way it
people to
is
agree, because
based off
like I
of
said, it says they are one.
good
So many
reason.
times-
The threat.
But it also
the
says
threats of God, because
they
that's
are
what like I would say. Old
essentially
Testament is the threat,
so many
right?
times.
Old Testament was scared.
And
He's
they
scared
didn't
of God,
use the word
or he'll
separate,
smite you, right?
but
He's gonna
used
flood.
it.
He's
God
gonna
probably
he's gonna turn you to salt
You
or
said the
whatever he
son.
did to that one
Well,
guy. He's
how
gonna
can
kill an
you hear
entire
that?
city
You can't be
because
your
there's
own
gay
son.
people.
So why would
Yeah,
you
Sodom
New
and
Testament.
Gomorrah,
Things like
two
that.
cities, in fact.
They're going to kill the
So
whole thing
finished.
because what?
Because of gay
So
people,
finished.
right? That was what's
to
this?
smite that.
Yeah.
But you've read the story before, right? It wasn't just because they were gay. They were wanting to rape people.
Devious deed, they did.
It was all about
Heathen.
And I
getting
think
into
that's-
their
Yeah, but that
own-
one
If you don't
prophet
now
offered
believe-
up his daughters because he didn't want the angel to get
But
raped.
that's why.
Well,
why
that
I'm
wasn't
saying it's
even
hard
necessarily biblical for him to do that. It was just
And so that's why.
that was descriptive text. It was talking about an event rather than
Like I said
prescriptive.
before, I do
They're not
Try
just
helping,
saying
like,
that the Bible doesn't mean that God's condoning it.
I
It's
do
saying
believe what I
that this
believe. I'm not
stuff
going to go ahead and say,
Alright.
you're an idiot, blah, 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 or whatever.
So,
like, and I don't even believe that.
I mean,
So-
if
but
I
do
had
believe
someone working,
that
like,
what I
I'm just a
believe is
college
true.
student, but if I
And
had
that's
someone
why it's
working for me,
hard because I
like
never wanna get in an
personally,
argument
people are like,
because
that
that
guy,
goes
he works for
anywhere.
Joseph. He's doing Joseph's work, and he did something like that. I'd get rid of him. He'd be gone. He'd be gone so quick. And I'm like
Yeah.
just
And
a
you
college
should-
student. I feel like that's basic moral ethics. So does God have a lower ethics standard than I do?
Where does your morality come from?
I think a lot of it comes from like my parents. I would hate to admit because obviously they're Mormon. Just like how it is.
Break away from that. So the black man's the devil.
So is it wrong to hit a baby?
To hit a baby?
Yeah, in all circumstances.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay to hit a baby.
Do you mean like
Like go up and
you
slug a baby
just
in the face.
deck a baby? I think that morals are complex. Morally, yes, it's wrong. I would never hit a baby.
About you, I'm saying is it wrong in all circumstances to go up and slug a baby?
It's kind of like
I mean, it's like a two-headed thing because, like, yeah, obviously, because it's defenseless. That it comes from the fact that there's this whole idea that if you do that, someone's gonna hurt you. If you just punch a baby, there's a group of people that all agree and say, you're messed up, there's something wrong with you, you're gonna harm the group for the worse. And so they're gonna do something to you. That's like, it's just like, it's pack mentality, right?
So it's a matter of sustaining self. So you're going to avoid
Yeah,
hitting the baby because
unfortunately.
you don't want the reaction that's going to come from the group.
I mean, like, I want to know why
there's
I
so
do
many
stuff,
different
right?
concepts
Obviously,
that you have
there's
to
a lot of
retouch
things
and
that I
go
do
back
that I'm
to.
just like,
It's a commitment.
yeah. But obviously, I'm
But
not
it's
going to go
fun,
up and
like
hit
you
a
said,
baby. That's insane. That's why. God literally killed an entire population of firstborns because he was unhappy with one man. God doesn't give a shit about babies.
You know, are you talking about the Canaanites?
I'm talking about Moses when he's in Israel, when he killed all the firstborns to punish the.
Yes, he did. He sent
The Pharaoh killed them.
Oh, the angel of death. Oh, I thought you were talking about Moses. Oh, I
No,
thought
no,
you were
no.
thinking about-
When they put the lamb's blood on the doors, right? So obviously, babies aren't valuable to God. Are they?
The firstborn, technically.
So are you okay with abortion?
So that's a really complicated topic, obviously. I don't think I'm okay with someone that isn't ready for the responsibilities of raising a child and creating a human being, having a baby. I think that I know people that they were gonna have an abortion, is what I'm trying to say. And they didn't, and they blossomed, and they turned into amazing parents. The kid is doing great. The guy, he's a police officer now. His wife they're incredible humans, right? And they're really grounded. That guy's cool. But I know other people that it's just not the case. Yeah. Yeah, firstborn, right?
If God gives life, can God take life away?
I don't think God gives life. I think humans do. Hypothetically.
God gives life.
So
Does not have the right to take it.
So basically what you're saying is we're ants running around and there's a toddler just stomping on us and we're like, I mean, he can do it. He's allowed to, isn't he?
I think that analogy is a little off. I have a better
Yeah.
analogy. Tell me what you think of this. A potter shaping clay.
Yeah.
Can he not shape that clay into
Are we pots?
anything? I know we're not. I'm making an analogy. I'm basically saying there's the artist,
I
there's
think
the
it's
creator.
important that you understand that we are individuals and we have our own thoughts, where a piece of pottery obviously doesn't. While I love the analogy because it's his ability to shape us into something really beautiful or to shape us into something worthless and completely useless, or to even crap. It's important to understand that the opinions, right? You have free will. Do you guys believe in free will?
But you believe in God?
I
Like
know.
the Christian
It's
God?
Faith,
do you believe in an
free will?
all-powerful God?
obviously doesn't believe
I believe
in
in
fate.
God.
So
Well,
God's
but it's
plan
set
was
up.
to have abortion.
That's the plan of Romans 13. So Romans 13 explains how, but that's the Christian book. Not
But he
yours.
wrote the book.
I
He
know.
engineered all
I
of
know.
this. He
It's
made
like
it
you
all.
reading the script and
Right?
being like, I mean,
So you're saying he's not? Okay.
So you believe you have a spirit then? What was the decision? Was it your neurons sending a message to your legs? Was that the decision?
That was after the decision was made.
So something in your body told your brain to send the message, the electrical signal through your neurons. What was that? Where?
So fundamentally, your question is, how can you reconcile God's sovereignty and man being responsible for his actions?
My question is, how could a God have lower morality standards than his creations?
What do you mean
How
exactly?
can he do
The
that?
same thing.
Because he's valued in ideological.
The same way, you we talked about it, right? It's messed up to go punch babies. And we're just talking about hurting babies. They would recover and grow, right?
I understand what you're saying. Okay.
But he goes around killing babies because he doesn't
We're
want
not God. We don't create life, and we're not sovereign.
But we
over
do
all
create
things.
life.
Right, we don't create it though. God
we don't?
creates the life.
Yes, we do.
There would
We
be
come
no
to-
Procreation.
Right, but it's God creating the baby.
So
Is it?
God's forces
It's
to
just
have
the
sex?
cells dividing.
No, when a man and a woman come together, yes, they have sex, and the zygote attaches to the egg.
God, like,
You mean you're saying that you think that God sends a spirit
saying
to
you
fill the
don't have
body
free will.
that the humans made, right?
you're saying you don't have free will. is what you're
Because
saying.
that didn't
I'm basically saying God controls all things, and He holds all things together by His
He cannot
power.
control all things, and he cannot have a plan if there's free will. It cannot work. That doesn't work. Those are two separate ideas that cannot exist at the same time. Unless, I mean, if you want to prove me wrong, I would love you to, but that's just
So
like,
yes, there are two truths there: that God is completely sovereign and man has free will. But I don't believe that one usurps the other.
So there was God's plan with Adam and Eve. God's plan was clearly to not have them eat the fruit. When he told them, don't eat the fruit. That decision, right? Free will. Eve eats the fruit. She gives it to Adam. They leave. Where's God's plan? It's still going, right?
say that this isn't God's plan to say He's not all powerful, which is directly
Cannot be an
contradicting the
all-powerful
Bible.
being, and there cannot be free will, and it can't be the same.
That God did sovereignly ordain.
It all contradicts
that tree would be
itself.
put in the garden, that even Adam and Eve would eat from the tree, and that they would fall.
If you see it as only one will of God, if there is an immutable will of God that's not going to change no matter what, Christ is going to die on that.
So his will was for you to make a decision. And if you have a decision to have an abortion, that's his will.
No option. There was never an option.
There's free will. So there wasn't a.
So if he,
Christ was going to die on the cross regardless. That was God's will. That was going to happen.
you sure?
No one was gonna
What if
stop
they
it.
hung him though?
It says that it was God's will to crush him.
To what?
To crush him.
They didn't crush him though.
Right.
They crucified
it's
him.
poetic language.
Yeah, but
Where is that in the
It's
Bible?
in Psalm 53.
Psalms?
I know
Isaiah.
God in heaven, like when people
Correction.
go to hell.
Okay.
It's like,
It's like, you know who wrote Psalms? That's
Right.
not
I'm sorry.
scripture, man.
Isaiah 53.
Okay.
so if that was going to happen regardless of any man's interference, that was going to happen.
So back to you guys believing in the Trinity. So you think that Christ crucified himself to himself to save the world from himself.
God
We just have a different like view from my
yeah,
friend.
that is awesome.
Very different.
No, I understand that it sounds crazy.
We just- Yeah, we do jump around a lot.
He had to kill himself.
Sounds pretty selfish.
Because it was his plan, right? So he committed suicide to protect us from himself. Protect us from what? Malaria?
From his righteous judgment. If you did something wrong and you stood
Righteous
before a
judgment.
judge and the judge let you go, is he a good judge? If you
Yes.
went out
I
and
think if
punched
a judge told me
Wait,
I'm going,
punch the baby. We already went over that.
if a judge walked up to me and said,
So who's gonna-
Before the judge and the judge says, oh, you punched a baby. Yeah, but I'm a pretty good person. You should let me go.
Who's gonna hold God accountable?
You should go. He holds himself accountable.
does he? Because he obviously doesn't.
So the judge at court holds himself accountable for the speeding ticket he got,
So wait, what law is God breaking?
I don't know.
right?
I'm,
I am.
Hypothetically, if there is a God, right?
It's very hypothetical. Oh, you can't touch it, man.
yeah, no touchy.
No touchy. No touchy.
Yeah,
Yeah, scoot back a little. Scoot back a little, dude.
Hypothetically, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, sorry.
So it's cool if, you know, if you went before a judge, right? And you did something wrong, even the judge, well, say somebody hurt your mom, right? I mean, say someone hurt your mom. But
Okay.
I like her. So without judge, and the judge is like, sacrifice, like I can look at you on the paperwork, you're free to go. Would you consider that a good judge? Or I was having this conversation with my brother.
No.
So in the same way, God is a just God. That's what the Bible says. He is a good judge.
Okay.
So if we sinned and we violated His law, we're sinning against Him. It's very neat concept. Unforgivable sin, like if it's a shame.
According to the Bible, that was written by
Man.
Okay, but that's not what
Also-
I'm saying. I just want to know, who do you think will hold God accountable? Who? Or what?
What does God do to justify himself?
So all the babies he killed. In that one instance. We're not going to talk about anything else, anybody else
Wait,
he's
okay.
killed.
Let me ask you.
Who's going to hold him accountable?
This is
That's
just
all
a
that's all I
question.
want to know.
Why is it wrong for God to take the life of a baby?
Why is it wrong for me to do it?
Because you're the creature. You're the creature.
I'm the creature.
God,
We
you're
are
bound by the
same as
law of God.
We are the same as God. It says that in the Bible. Yeah, we were created by him, right?
We're in the image of God, but we're not.
Okay, we're the image of God.
Which means that in the same sense, you've got a painting on the wall of
Okay,
house.
so why did he come to Earth? Like, why he came to Earth? He got a body, right? So he was a human. So he's a human. He's just like us. He looked just like us.
Fully God and fully man. There's a distinction.
Okay.
Two different
We're
things
not
at once.
God at all.
I just want to know who's gonna
Yeah.
hold him accountable.
It is a mystery.
I think he limits himself.
We're not. Clarify, we're not Mormons.
Yeah,
we have
we're
a
not
lot
Mormons.
We have a lot of biases because of our upbringing, so a lot of our understanding comes from
Right,
Mormonism.
that's what I'm
But we're not Mormons.
Right.
We're complete. I don't.
Right.
I'm completely atheist. I don't-
Completely atheist.
That's what I'm addressing, is that this is where you guys got some of this theology from. That
Well-
God was one time a man and walked amongst people and lived such a good life that he got anointed to the celestial kingdom and
Yeah,
kingdom
yeah,
of
yeah.
God
All
and
the
got
freaky
his own,
stuff.
and got his own earth, right?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have more problems with the Mormon stuff than I do all the other stuff, because like I think Christ was a good person. I like a lot of his teachings. A lot of the stuff he got was pretty good, like what Gandhi taught. You know what I mean? Just like be a good person, be nice. It gets complicated once you get past what he taught while he was on this earth. Like when you start quoting other apostles or prophets, that's where a lot of the complications come from in modern churches. That's where you guys were disagreeing with him because of other teachings from other prophets, James, Nephi, whatever the fuck that stuff is. But like if you keep it strictly with Jesus Christ, he basically said just be nice, man. It was just be nice to people. And then it was by grace.
Well, he was the heir to a throne in a usurped country that was taken controlled by Romans. So I'm sure that he wanted his property left
The
in a
goats
land
and the sheep.
that has been taken over by Romans, right?
He didn't do that though. He didn't cast the Romans out.
Well, obviously, he got crucified.
Right, and then do you believe he rose from the dead?
I don't know. No, I don't. Obviously, I
So
mean,
you know what the
guys should
Muslims believe
definitely-
about that?
You guys should definitely look into like Josephus and Tacitus and Eusebius, because those are extra biblical accounts of.
You remember all those names?
that I watched. I
Are
don't know.
historians. Those are historians from the first century. But Tacitus was actually Roman and hated the Jews. So
Well,
he
a
wouldn't
lot
have
of people
said
did.
anything.
So did
What he said
Hitler.
was there was Christians, and they believed that he rose from the dead.
The Muslims have a tomb for him in India for Jesus. They think that he wasn't actually killed. They think that they took him off before he died, and then they doctored him, I guess, in the tomb to hide him from the Romans. And then he went there on a mission to India, and then
Exactly
they
like you're gonna
buried
bust
him
out
there.
and start talking to everyone that just tried to kill you. You're like, "What's up, you guys? You guys failed. I'm still alive." He's gonna leave. He's not gonna stay there. He can't.
Okay, so
They'll
then
kill him.
why did his followers go to their deaths without rejecting what they claimed?
Because the stories about
Peter-
that were written 100 years
Whoa,
after.
whoa! You're gonna claim they never rejected him?
Why did Arthur pull the sword from the stone?
After he,
Oh yeah,
after he
well that was Paul, but
resurrected, after he resurrected from the dead, why did none of his disciples? All they had to do was say, "Yeah, we made this all up," and then they wouldn't have been boiled in oil, or they wouldn't have been thrown off the temple and hit with a club and all
I
these
don't
other
know.
things.
Why did?
Crucified upside down. Why did they hold to what they said?
So you're saying
to their
because
death?
someone stuck to their beliefs, it's true.
That's like
I'm saying
asking.
that they believed it enough that they
In-
were willing to die for it. They believed
So
it
were a
enough
lot
that
of
they
Mormons.
saw him, that they
A
saw
lot of
him rise
Mormons
from the
were
dead.
killed because of their beliefs.
But none of them said,
So
I
were
saw
Muslims.
Jesus. I saw Jesus rise
They
from the
actually
dead.
do. They have special witnesses that believe they've seen Jesus Christ in the flesh. They're literally called special witnesses. It's one of the criteria of being called that, is to see Jesus
And
Christ
then
in the
they-
flesh.
And then they were martyred.
They were murdered and martyred. I think
Were they martyred because they wouldn't deny Christ or that they had
I-
seen him risen?
that's
name.
what they believe they were killed for. Obviously, I don't believe in that. I believe they were killed because they were part of a cult.
It's like asking why all the people in the RLDS church don't leave after their main prophet was put in jail, right? Why don't they leave? He was put in jail for committing crimes.
Like actual crimes. He was not put in jail
the person who he's the prophet of the RLDS church right now. I forget his name. Something's like, I don't even remember.
It's a sect that believes that Joseph Smith's son was supposed to be the next prophet. He was heir to the church, right? And they believe like insane stuff. They practice polygamy. They're like convicted pedophiles, pretty much.